Welcome to Wisdom and Wealth, where we explore the timeless principles that lead to a richer, more fulfilling life. We understand that life over 40 often brings unique challenges and a desire for deeper meaning. In a world that often prioritizes external success, we delve into the wellspring of inner peace and lasting happiness. Let's embark on this journey together, and before we begin, please consider subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us share these valuable teachings with more people seeking a calmer, wiser existence. In a world that thrives on noise, where people rush to defend, argue, and react, true strength belongs not to the loudest, but to the quietest. It belongs to the one who remains steady while others are swept up in the storm. It belongs to the one who chooses not to bite the hook of provocation, and to the one who observes chaos without becoming a part of it. Buddhist teachings remind us that anger is not something that happens to others, it's something that harms the one who carries it. We aren't punished for our anger, we are punished by it. Every time we allow anger to dictate our response, we hand over our inner peace, surrendering control of our mind and heart. Instead, imagine mastering your mind so well that silence becomes your natural response to turmoil. No words, no resistance, just presence. In that stillness, no one can command your peace, not with criticism, not with confusion, not with fear. This is the path of the wise, to rise so far beyond the clamor of the world that serenity becomes untouchable. Today, we begin that journey together. Let me share with you a powerful lesson from Buddhist philosophy that will help you train your mind to remain calm, no matter what comes your way. We're confident that as you incorporate these teachings into your life, you'll experience a profound shift in your ability to navigate the complexities of the modern world with grace and resilience. If you are finding value in this content, please give us a like and subscribe to the Wisdom and Wealth channel. We are committed to helping you find the quiet strength that will help you live a life of wisdom and wealth. Lesson 1: Letting go is the root of inner strength. Most of us move through life like leaves caught in the wind, tossed about by opinions, emotions, and shifting circumstances. One unkind word, and our peace dissolves. A single setback, and we begin to question our worth. Why? Because we're tied to things outside ourselves, to praise, success, comfort, and control. Buddhism calls this clinging, upadana, the habit of holding on tightly to what we wish for and what we expect. This very clinging is what gives rise to suffering. The Buddha taught that pain doesn't come from what happens around us, but from how fiercely we hold on to what we want to happen. We grip tightly to being right, to being admired, to having life unfold according to our plan. So, when reality doesn't match our expectations, our peace shatters because it was never grounded within, but tied to things that can change in an instant. But when you learn to let go, not of love or kindness, but of the need to control outcomes, something profound shifts. You begin to see that no event, no word, no person has the power to disturb your peace, unless you grant it. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you care with clarity. You act with compassion, but you no longer stake your sense of self on the result. Whether you are praised or blamed, it doesn't shake you. Whether you succeed or fall short, it doesn't define you. Your heart remains steady. This isn't coldness, it's wisdom. When you stop reacting from emotion, you create space, and in that space, tranquility grows. Letting go allows you to stand like a great tree in the midst of a storm, rooted, unshaken, deeply alive. If someone speaks harshly, you no longer need to defend yourself. You smile gently, seeing that their words reflect their own inner world, not yours. If someone lifts you up with praise, you smile the same, knowing your worth was never tied to their opinion. Here lies real power, the strength of one who no longer depends on shifting conditions for their peace. You no longer react blindly. You see, you breathe, you release, and in that release, you reclaim control of yourself. That is where true serenity begins, and from serenity, an unshakable strength arises. This concept is vital for us in our later years, as we begin to release control over our children, careers, and even our own bodies. This concept may be challenging, but the rewards are an enhanced sense of self, strength and freedom. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Wisdom and Wealth channel for more insights into mastering your mind and cultivating inner peace. Lesson 2, Witness, Don't Carry. One of the most profound abilities the Buddhist path offers is the art of simply witnessing. Life surrounds us with noise, opinions, emotions, and energies, and often, we absorb them without realizing it. Someone's anger becomes our anger. Another's sadness weighs heavy on our chest. The world's chaos seeps in, and we begin to mirror it. But here is a gentler way. What if you didn't have to take it all in? What if you could simply watch, without carrying the weight? This is the wisdom of mindful presence, to see what's happening, to feel its ripples, but to let it pass without clinging. Imagine your mind like a quiet lake. A stone may fall, a leaf may drift, rain may touch its surface, but after each disturbance, it returns to stillness. In the same way, you can witness what comes without becoming what comes. When harsh words are spoken, notice them, see the pain behind them, but don't take that pain as your own. When criticism stings, feel it for a moment, then release it. Let it rise, let it fall, let it go. You are not every emotion that visits you. You are not every thought that crosses your mind. You are the awareness that watches them come and go, steady, silent, unchanged. And in that awareness, you find freedom. For when you stop trying to hold on to every feeling or thought, they lose their grip. Consider this: if someone offers you something harmful, like a burning coal, but you don't take it, it cannot hurt you. But when you seize it, you're the one who gets burned. So too with negativity. When you choose to observe instead of absorb, you remain light, you remain grounded. The world's storms may rage, but they do not rule you. This isn't weakness, this is mastery. For the strongest person is not the one who controls the world, but the one who has learned to guide themselves. So, when life throws its challenges at you, pause, witness it, breathe with it, let it pass. You were never meant to carry the weight of everyone's struggle. You were meant to stand steady in your own peace. Remember that witnessing, not carrying, is the key to preserving your mental and emotional well-being, especially as we navigate the later chapters of our lives. Lesson 3, In Stillness, Power Awakens. In every challenging moment, before words are spoken, before actions are taken, there exists a quiet sliver of space, a single heartbeat between the event and your response. That small space holds immense power, but many miss it, swept up by the force of emotion. The Buddha knew what imprisons us is not the world's events, but our automatic reactions. Someone speaks unkindly, and the impulse to lash back flares up. A driver cuts you off, and anger rises like a flame. Trouble appears, and fear grabs hold. But these first emotions, they are not who you are. You are the one who notices them. You are the one who can pause and choose. That pause is your freedom, that pause is where wisdom begins. In that brief breath, you can return to your center and ask yourself, what response honors my peace? What action reflects my clarity? Without the pause, we react on impulse, and those reactions so often create regret. Words are spoken that wound. Decisions are made in haste. All because we didn't stop to breathe. But with practice, through meditation, through mindful living, you strengthen that pause. You teach yourself to sit with discomfort without immediately reaching for reaction. You feel the heat of anger, but you don't let it set you ablaze. You notice the sting of fear, but you don't let it rule you. Over time, this pause becomes natural. Instead of reacting, you observe. Instead of rushing, you reflect. And what grows in that space is wisdom, the kind that heals rather than harms. True strength is not shown in how fast we act, but in how deeply we can pause. Because in that pause, you claim your power, you reclaim the space between stimulus and response. And from that stillness, you can move through the world with intention, not emotion. So, the next time life shakes you, remember, you are not required to react. You can breathe, you can pause, and in that breath, you step into freedom. This awareness of that pause is essential as we age, allowing us to respond with wisdom to changing circumstances. Lesson 4. Let the flames die without fuel. When anger is hurled at you, the first urge is to throw it right back. You feel its heat rise within. Your heart races. Your mind fills with arguments, and suddenly you're caught in a fire of emotion, fighting to prove, to defend, to win. But the teachings of the Buddha offer a freeing truth. You don't have to feed the flames, you can let them fade on their own. Throughout time, no conflict has ever been healed by more anger. Hatred has never dissolved another hatred. Only understanding, patience, and quiet strength have that power. When someone lashes out in anger, they are, in a way, offering you a burning torch. If you take hold of it, the fire spreads. But if you choose not to grasp it, the flame finds no fuel, and slowly, it dies out. This is what true mastery looks like. It's not about being passive, it's about knowing that not every battle deserves your energy, that peace is far more valuable than being right. The ego wants to fight, to prove itself, but the soul seeks to stay free, untouched by the fires of conflict. Picture this: someone approaches you with rage, their words sharp, their voice raised. You listen, but you don't argue. You don't defend. You offer them your calm, your silence. At first, it unsettles them. They expect a fight. But then, your quiet strength disarms them, because in that moment, they see they can no longer stir your peace. This is not weakness, this is a higher form of power. When you refuse to return anger with anger, you don't take that anger into your own heart, you remain light, unburdened. Think of it this way: if someone tries to hand you a heavy stone, and you don't take it, who carries the weight? They do. The same is true with emotional fire. When you don't accept it, it remains with the one who offered it, and in time, the fire burns out, having no place to spread. Choosing not to engage also protects your mind. Each time you react in anger, you strengthen those pathways, training yourself to be quick to conflict, quick to lose peace. But each time you choose stillness, you build new habits of patience, of wisdom, of strength. You become like a stone temple, standing firm as storms rage around it. The winds may howl, the rain may fall, but nothing shakes its foundation. This is who you are becoming, someone who knows their energy is sacred and refuses to waste it fueling unnecessary fires. So, when the world tries to pull you into its drama, ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Do I need to set my own heart ablaze just to win this argument? The answer is no. Remain still, stay grounded, let the fire burn out by itself, while you remain untouched. Because your peace is not theirs to take, it is yours to guard with your silence, your awareness, and your unwavering presence. Lesson 5. The quiet strength of silence. In a world overflowing with noise, where voices compete to be heard, where opinions clash, where constant chatter fills the air, silence has become rare. And because it is rare, it is powerful. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that silence is not merely the absence of sound, it is the presence of deep understanding. It is the space where insight blossoms, where peace takes root. In the ancient verses of the Dhammapada, it is said, "Better than 1,000 empty words is a single word that brings peace." And sometimes, even that single word isn't needed. The person who has mastered silence does not seek to prove themselves. They don't argue to be right, nor do they speak to fill the air. When they do speak, it is with purpose, and their words carry weight, because they rise from clarity, not from reaction. So often, when we speak from ego, we say more than is needed. We defend too fiercely, argue too long, and in doing so, we trade our inner calm for hollow victories. But as you nurture inner stillness, you come to see that not every arrow deserves a shield, not every insult requires a reply, not every opinion needs your defense. This doesn't mean you allow others to cross your boundaries, it means you've grown so steady within yourself that you no longer feel the urge to prove anything. Your worth doesn't depend on the loudness of your voice, but on the stillness of your soul. Silence is not weakness, silence is mastery. It is the strength to remain grounded when challenged. It is the choice to keep your peace intact, no matter how loud the world becomes. When someone attacks you with words, you stand at a crossroads. You can respond with more noise, or you can meet them with silence, not out of fear, but from understanding. Because you see their words reflect their own state, not yours. Picture this: someone shouts, hoping to provoke you, to pull you into their storm, but you meet them with quiet presence, not with scorn, not with pride, just stillness. And in that stillness, you speak without speaking. You hold no power over my peace. I am whole, whether you see it or not. The Buddha himself was a master of this art. When questioned by those seeking to trap him with words, he often answered with silence. He knew engaging with ignorance fuels it. Silence, in contrast, allows it to fade. When you choose silence, you gift yourself three things. First, you conserve your energy. Words and arguments can drain the spirit. Silence saves that strength for what truly matters: your growth, your clarity, your purpose. Second, you sharpen your vision. In quiet, you can see clearly, both the world around you and the emotions within you. And when you do speak, your words come from wisdom, not from old wounds. Third, you break the cycle. The world expects reaction. Your silence disrupts that pattern. It confuses those who seek conflict, for they can't engage someone who refuses to play the game. This is why sages, monks, and wise souls across time have embraced silence, not as emptiness, but as the space where true power lives. Silence is healing, silence is discipline, silence is the gentlest yet most unshakable form of strength. And let us remember, silence is not only how we meet the world, it is how we meet ourselves. Too often, we are caught in the noise of our own mind, judging, worrying, reliving what has passed, fearing what may come. True silence arises when the mind softens, when thoughts lose their grip, when awareness simply watches, steady, calm, at peace. That is where transformation begins. In that silence, we heal. In that silence, we rediscover the strength that was always ours, waiting beneath the noise of the world. Silence is a powerful tool for those of us in our later years, as we cultivate wisdom and navigate a noisy world. Lesson 6: Acceptance, the gateway to inner freedom. At the heart of Buddhist wisdom is a simple yet powerful truth: it is not what life brings that causes our suffering, it is how tightly we resist it. We ache not because challenges come, but because we believe they shouldn't. We struggle against loss, against discomfort, against change, and in that struggle, we create the storm that unsettles our soul. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from our craving, from our longing for life to be something other than what it is. We long for stability in a world that shifts like sand. We long for control in a universe that offers none. We long for ease where difficulty is part of the natural flow. But the reality is this: life will not always fit our plans. There will be heartbreak, there will be disappointment, there will be moments that test our strength, and no amount of resistance or control will change that. This is why acceptance is not surrender, it is strength. It is the strength to release the inner battle and meet life as it is. Acceptance doesn't mean you approve of everything that happens. It doesn't mean you stop caring or striving. It means you stop waging war in your mind against what already is. You stop exhausting your spirit with the thought, this shouldn't be happening, because every time you think that, you suffer twice, once from the event itself, and again from your refusal to allow it. Picture yourself caught in an unexpected rainstorm. You can shout at the sky, curse the clouds, and still, you'll get wet. Or, you can take a breath, feel the rain on your skin, and walk. The storm is the same, but one path leads to peace, the other to misery. This is the essence of Buddhist acceptance, a quiet inner yes to the reality of the moment, not because you give up, but because you wake up. You see clearly that fighting what's already here only deepens the pain. Acceptance doesn't mean you stop working for change where you can. It means you no longer poison your heart with rejection of what you can't control. You respond to injustice, not with inner rage, but with clear action. You set boundaries with people, not because you need to control them, but because you respect yourself. Even with yourself, acceptance is the first step of true growth. You cannot transform what you refuse to see. You cannot heal what you deny. When you accept your flaws, your past, your mistakes, not as labels, but as starting points, you begin to change from a place of compassion, not shame. And here's the quiet miracle: when you stop resisting your pain, it softens. When you stop running from your fear, it begins to fade. When you look at the moment and say, "This is where I am now," space opens for peace to enter. Acceptance isn't the end of the journey, it's the beginning. It's the shift from struggle to flow, from resistance to presence, from victimhood to strength. When you align with what is, something beautiful happens. Life doesn't get easier, but you become stronger. You stop needing the world to match your expectations in order to be at peace. You stop being shaken by every difficulty, because your peace is no longer dependent on perfect conditions. So, when life tests you, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What now?" Instead of resisting the rain, feel it. Instead of clenching against the moment, open to it. This is how you move from suffering into strength. Acceptance is the key that unlocks the door to freedom. It doesn't erase the challenge, but it lifts the weight of suffering from your heart. It clears your vision so you can see the next step without the fog of resistance. And in that space, you discover the truth: peace is not found in controlling life, peace is found in no longer needing to. This lesson is incredibly valuable as we age and face the inevitability of change. By accepting what is, we can find peace and strength in every moment. For more insights on this topic and other Buddhist teachings, please subscribe to the Wisdom and Wealth channel. Lesson 7: The Quiet Power of Steady Focus. Lasting change doesn't arrive through sudden bursts of effort. In the teachings of the Buddha, transformation is not an event, it is a gentle unfolding, born of small, steady acts of attention. Like water that shapes stone through persistence, your focused energy, applied with consistency, has the power to reshape your entire being. This is the heart of bhavana, the cultivation of the mind. Where your attention goes, your life follows. And when that attention is calm, steady, and intentional, even your smallest choices begin to create deep and lasting change. But most people, without realizing it, scatter their energy. They let their attention be pulled in 1,000 directions by distractions, by emotional storms, by the endless noise of the world. One moment, they are lost in regrets of the past; the next, they are tangled in worries about the future. Their focus is like a lantern flickering in the wind, never steady, never bright. The Buddha's path invites something different: a gathering of your energy, a drawing back of your attention from the world's chaos into the stillness of the present. And in that stillness, to direct your focus inward, to your breath, to your thoughts, to your responses, and choose again and again to cultivate peace. This isn't about grand gestures or dramatic moments of insight. It's about the simple, quiet practice of returning to yourself, to this moment, to your center. Like a single drop of water falling on a stone, each moment of mindfulness seems small, but over time, these moments carve out a new way of being. Every time you choose patience over reaction, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you observe a negative thought without following it, you train your mind in wisdom. Every time you pause before speaking, you grow your inner strength. And what unfolds is a transformation so gradual it may go unnoticed at first. But one day, you will look back and realize you are no longer triggered as easily. The storms of life still come, but they no longer shake your roots. You have become steady, quiet, powerful. This is not perfection, it is alignment. The more you focus your energy inward, the less you are disturbed by the noise outside. You no longer chase peace, you embody it. And when your focus wavers, as it will, you simply return, no judgment, no shame, just begin again. The greatest strength is not never falling, it is rising each time you do. Even the most accomplished monks and teachers have lost their way at times. What made them masters was their practice of returning. This focused energy is not harsh, it does not demand or force. It gently guides you back, breath by breath, to what truly matters. Over time, your nervous system softens, your breath slows, your presence deepens, and your calm becomes a gift, not just to yourself, but to all who meet you. True strength is not loud. It is not in controlling others or conquering the world. It is in mastering yourself, in letting go of what does not serve your peace, in becoming the one who no longer reacts, but simply observes, understands, and remains steady. Through detachment, you release what once weighed you down. Through observation, you see clearly without being caught. Through the pause, you reclaim the moment. Through stillness, you rise above the noise. Through acceptance, you stop fighting life and begin to move with it. And through quiet, focused energy, you reshape your life, not overnight, but with every choice, every breath, every return to presence. You don't need to control the storm, you only need to remember that you are the mountain beneath it, steady, silent, and unmoved. That is the path to real peace. That is the strength that no one can take from you. Steady focus is especially important as we age, allowing us to savor each moment and find joy in the present. Conclusion. In the end, this path is not about escaping life's challenges, it is about meeting them with a heart that no longer trembles and a mind that no longer scatters. True strength, as the Buddha taught, is not found in controlling the world, but in mastering yourself, one breath, one choice, one silent pause at a time. You don't have to be perfect, you don't have to have all the answers. You simply have to return again and again to what matters, your inner stillness, your focused energy, your quiet, steady presence. Because when you do, life changes. The storms lose their power, the noise fades, and you walk through this world with a peace no one can take from you. So, I invite you now, make this more than just something you've heard, make it something you live. The next time life tests you, remember, you are the mountain, not the storm. You are the stillness beneath the waves. Now, if this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. And if you're ready to walk this path of inner peace with me, subscribe to this channel. Every week, we share timeless Buddhist wisdom, gently guiding you back to your center. We look forward to seeing you again next week, but before you go, please share in the comments what small practice you will begin today to cultivate this unshakable peace. Your journey starts with one breath, one pause, one act of presence. Let's walk this path together. Please subscribe to the Wisdom and Wealth channel to learn more about Buddhist teachings.